Yo. Um, I don't know. All right, so let me just start this off here. I'm gonna share the link. Uh, yeah, it takes a couple minutes for the notification to hit. Carried, she's first. I'm seeing on my end. Got two people in. Yeah, kind of titled it. Let's get into it. As far as what that is, I don't know. Alex Jonestown Massacre. Close, you're second. Sup, Roy? So yeah, this is kind of a problem because I usually try to keep up with the drama to a degree, but I haven't been fully informed. I kind of just know bits and pieces, so um somehow I'm a topic and I'm just like not even not even around. I don't know. Bobby Joe came back. Fortunately. They're saying something about Dr. Jeff being Ed. Like some weird thing about Dr. Jeff being Ed. I don't know. But I was like, now it's like, and here's the thing. I mean, I kind of do make a thing over it where it's not like they were being like my issue is this. It's not like they were being respectable, or respectful about, you know, we just don't know all the facts yet. He didn't get charged, or we don't know. He's just a suspect. They were denying he was a suspect. They were saying that people were that were saying he was a suspect of CP were somehow saying that he's just a pedo already, when there was just established legitimate concern that he was a suspect. I mean, that's kind of a good thing that the panels are being replayed because people are trying to rewrite history. Um, but it's very clear where people stood, and I that's kind of just why I didn't really have much empathy at all when I just saw like all these red flags. Like none of what he was saying made sense because it's not just that that someone was like a CP suspect. It was like, okay, so what happened? Like I could see many scenarios. Like maybe he was another person with the same name. Maybe he was doing some decoy work and got caught up in some shit. Maybe he was someone slandering him. Like the questions I was asking were based on wanting to hear a legitimate answer. Um so and they were just like a billion red flags. And not only that, there were people vilifying the people that were actually concerned. That's what happened. So then when people were like, "Oh my god," when it all came out, yeah, I mean, I remember when that came out on Hoax Wars, I don't got the empathy. None of them. I think that the people, uh if they kind of were on that side, um you know, I just they were on undeniably the wrong side of history. That's just what it is. They're on the wrong side of the issue. What's up, Wolfpack? Wolf? Yeah, another issue. I think I kind of mentioned it in the last live. Yeah, certainly it's an issue going on in Massachusetts, but um, Massachusetts is actually pretty good about, you know, police working, doing what they need to be doing with on catches, and DAs taking cases. But this is a legislative issue, an issue with the laws, is because even if the DA does everything they can do, even if the cops do everything they can do, even if I do everything I can do, um, pretty much all the outcomes is they'll get charged with child enticement. They'll get charged with whatever. It's kind of either child enticement or sending obscenity to a minor, usually, and they will uh, be put on probation, which basically means that all they need to do is keep their nose clean for about 2 years. By the way, and something I was really disappointed by was I caught two predators that were previously caught by another predator catcher. Okay. And I would have thought, all right, this is it. This is like maybe it was a shit deal the first time, they were sentenced to the probation or something. But now they're gonna finally get it, right? Wrong. So what ended up happening was they so Arsenio Balega got it was probation again. And same thing with John Brown, probation. So none of those people really saw jail time. I think they were probably put in jail at a certain point and then bonded out. That's my understanding. But they did not. And I remember Arsenio, he got arrested on the catch, on the scene of the catch. And I think John Brown also did. He's actually a sex offender. And something about that is, John Brown is actually. I'll share the website. Um, this guy. So this guy walks. I've been seeing this guy walk around freely. Um, I was at the dollar store. He was there. I basically see him like walking around many times, like right in the city. Um, and they're just kind of walking free, and they're dangerous despite being caught twice. Like, so two of the predators that I'm talking about were caught twice on the exact same thing. So the major issue that I kind of want to that I think I kind of want to be a part of fighting for, because anything like this will need to be a collective effort. But obviously, like what I just said, will like just basically didn't happen, right? They're gonna say like, I alone am gonna try to change all the laws. I don't know, whatever they say. Um, but you know, I'm trying to kind of advocate for making it so that, like, what minimum penalty can they face? Um, I'm trying to think of the word. I'll just call them minimum sentences, mandatory minimums. So it's like in any time, you know, that we should have mandatory minimums, it's this case. It's this situation. I think if you are charged and convicted with enticement of a minor or sending obscenity to a minor, I think at a minimum you should be a sex offender for life. That's doing sexual shit with a kid online, and what you believe to be a kid online doesn't matter if it's a real kid or not, according to how the law works. And at a minimum, I think it should be at least, um, I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously, if it's up to me, they would just be in jail for life, this and that. But there's no way the justice system will do that. So I'm thinking, what kind of minimum sentence can we get as far as prison time? Because I think every single person, without fail, should go to prison on this. Um, you can go to prison for dumb shit, but you can do the worst crime imaginable. So yeah, that's kind of my issue. And here's also a thing about this website is I think I'm gonna make I've been really thinking about it. I think I'm gonna make this like the main like focus of where everything will point to. So somehow making everything, you know, pretty much everything that I make and post will be on the website because it's kind of just organic, and like I kind of have more control over the platform, so I just think it kind of makes more sense. But yeah, they shouldn't get offered plea deals either. Yeah, I mean, plea deals kind of just are a part of the legal process, but it's not even that. It's really that, even if they plead guilty, right? Which usually, if you plead guilty, it's always going to be you get a lesser sentence as if you took it to trial. That's just kind of how it works. That's kind of the point of a plea deal. But at a minimum, you should need to register as a sex offender and have to serve a prison sentence at a minimum. Um, Obviously, if it was the way that if I wrote the laws, these people just would be in prison for life. And I mean, some people would kind of say that's like based on how much of a leap it is from where it is to kind of what I'm talking about. But the way I'm really thinking about it is based on all of the evidence about sexual offenders and child sexual offenders is it's in their wiring, it's in their brain to be like this. And not only that, they act on it. And there's this not rehabilitatable. It's not something you can reverse. It's not like if you're a drug addict, you can um be go to rehab and then um put back into society if that led to any crimes or whatever. It's not like you if you're fighting people, you can get help with anger management, this and that. These are the kind of crimes that have, by its nature, it's not rehabilitatable. Exactly, they can't be fixed. So the issue with that is that's the basis that they're that much more of a danger to society. It's a objective and scientific basis that they're a danger to society if they committed this. So that's kind of really what it is. That's the basis of it. But not only that, it's just they'll be put on probation, and all they need to really do is not commit the same crime within about 2 years, and then they're just good. That in no way that sends a horrible message to try to the whole point of the justice system is to deter people from committing a crime. And basically what the legal system says is, you can be in Massachusetts, uh commit a sex crime, an online sex crime against a kid, and meet with them with the intent for sex. And by the way, every single one of them, like this guy and the other guy, they were very graphic, and if they say what they're going to do. There's no issue with the case. They say what they want to do, and the message is you don't see the inside of a jail cell. Or once the sentencing comes, it's like, okay, so we're gonna actually just make this continuing without a finding if you just didn't do anything between now and then we'll just drop it. I we'll drop it. Be like, I don't know, bro. Well, if you can just keep clean until 2026, we'll drop it. And then even if you did it before, then it's like, okay, we'll just put you on probation until the end, which is basically the same thing. That's a horrible message. You know? It's like with that at that like uh I mean basically it's being treated by less than a DUI. Cause like if you get a DUI, there's a major restriction on your driving. I haven't got one, so I don't know. But my understanding is I think you lose your license or something. Like your life gets affected in some way. If you get probation, your life is not really affected. It's a Beloveds. Yes, this guy was um 62 years old. Um and I mean he when he was caught the first time, I guess he did have to register as a sex offender. Um but basically the legal system completely dropped the ball um on this case. I think it says motion to examine criminal probation record. Um yeah, and that was this guy. Um but the other guy, which again, it's right here, catches a lot of people kind of just like a lot of the people have been scrolling at the homepage and then just saying like, "Oh, this isn't much of a website," but then it's like going to any website just at the homepage. It's like no shit, it's a homepage. It's like you have to go into the website. Um, yeah, this guy he was caught twice. He was arrested on site. I'm kind of just repeating what I said on the last stream. For all that kind of didn't hear because it was late, but yeah, guilty plea, pled guilty at the end of last year, and probation until 2026. Right there, right there. Um, you know, this is not a crime that that probation makes sense. As up short bus. Jesus is the truth. Hell is real. We all sin. He died on the cross to pay for our sins. Was buried and rose again the third day. Put your faith in him alone to save you. Trust in what he did for you. I don't know what that's about. I know what it's about, but I don't know where religion came from. And you know what I would be, and the thinking behind like the kind of the worst part is when they're caught, they actually do. They're like, oh shit, I'm put in cuffs. Like they like when they get arrested, they actually will be, you know, stressed out or worried about it. But then at a certain point, once they kind of experience like how lenient the justice system is with them, they're probably like in the back of their mind, like, this is it? I'm getting probation? I haven't did it again, and I'm just getting probation or continuing without a finding. So basically, if I just like don't do this again until 2026, I'm off the hook. Yeah, Yeah. It's like the very undeserved sigh of relief from probably all these predators because of the major issue of the legal system in Massachusetts um, is a problem. So yeah, something I am interested in doing is I'm trying to actually I think I was trying on like Facebook to try to get a hold of people. I don't know people. I'm not connected or anything, but I am trying to look for Massachusetts politicians, local and state, to try to get the ball rolling on something here about trying to get mandatory minimums. Like, what can we do about mandatory minimums? Like, can we get 5 years? Can we get 2 years? We got to start somewhere. Um, but probation should just never be the sentence. Yeah, I'm actually gonna move my mic. Yeah, I think I'll actually share the link. Yeah, I don't really have too much to get into the drama kind of stuff because it's just not it's kind of just not interesting. It's not really standing out to me. Um it's kind of getting boring, to be honest. It doesn't really hit the same. It's like because the real issue I kind of see is you know, pedos are getting away. Community service for the kid that ding dong ditched an elderly person, not a chomo. Oh, yeah, hold on. This is a good comment. Community services for the kid that did ding dong ditch on an elderly person. Like, yeah, doing like ding dong ditch or some shit, like egging houses, be like, all right, a kid made a mistake. Yeah, send that person to like community service. And then, they won't have their life ruined. But yeah, actually, I think the predator's name was Brian and Tiny decoyed him. He just had to do a little community service and he was good. It's like all these dangerous people, dangerous people. It's just it's it is infuriating. Um and by no means can one person um you know resolve this issue. Has to be a coalition effort to raise awareness about this problem. So I'm definitely looking for. I'm not sure if anyone knows anyone, but if anyone wants to like DM me or anything, I am looking for uh, state and local politicians to see what we can do about mandatory minimums on specifically enticement of a minor and sending obscenity to a minor. And sending obscenity to a minor, want to know what that means? That means like some people really send pictures of that's a dude sending a picture of their dick to a kid. And that doesn't get jail time. Like that shit should ruin your life. That shit should be on the sex registry. If you're a parent, you have kids or whatever, you're living probably very close to a lot of these predators. You should have the right to know that that person could be a threat to your kids. But meanwhile, it'll just be tucked away as community service or probation or something. So that's just that's insane. But again, I'm making it very clear this isn't an issue of like cops or the DAs or any of that because if someone gets charged, everyone did basically everything they could do. But it's just our laws that all right, so what we have to throw at them just isn't much. I have no idea who set these legal precedents, but we gotta change them. Yeah. I mean, it's not even like I'm avoiding it. If something's just is interesting enough, I'll get into drama. It just kind of has to be more interesting. You know, it's just kind of stale. That's the word I'd say, stale. It's like not saying about how you're coding and then you're using WordPress and somehow that's bad, and even though most like 40% of all websites are made with WordPress, or comparing that to like an Excel spreadsheet, I have no idea. Like, that's just kind of boring. Oh, it's probably on the Daniel Messberg channel. I'm just on Fireside. In each state, even though the feds should make it a federal crime. I mean, so one thing that I think is true is I do believe it's a felony, and they get the felony charge. So it does make them a felon. But if it's continuing without a finding, that means that the charge gets dropped. So if it's continuing without a finding, their charge gets dropped. But actually, it is a felony. But it's like crazy that a felony doesn't get jail time, especially if it's a serious felony. So yeah, this is kind of one thing. Probably should actually go live a little earlier. Don't know if I have too much to get into. Yeah, and not really, because like the same people that'll say like, oh, you get into drama for like views or whatever, but then when I actually talk about the actual issue, then it's like they don't care about the views. Like they actually won't watch it. Or I think one time I was given I had a very low view amount, but it was giving a court update, like an actual update for a catch. It's like I thought that was what I was supposed to do, you know. Yo,
Oh, were you just ending?
no, I just couldn't tell where you were. That's why I have to do that thing
Oh
on
no,
here.
no, I was just having trouble coming up. I was busy earlier and then ate supper and fell asleep for a while. Woke up and because Nanya was live earlier, I saw you were live. But you mentioned something earlier when I was trying to come up. I don't want to interrupt. If you're whatever you need to finish saying, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt what you're saying now.
No, I kind of got into like already the kind of the heart of everything. I'm actually kind of doing the interaction part. So pretty much with Chad and you, I guess, now that you're up. So
Yeah, I just want to mention if I could. I think I mentioned this before, but so when the first piece of paperwork came out about Ed back in what was that 2023? I think it was.
I think so. That sounds right.
It was the Florida trips. I think it was like March or April. So
Yeah.
when that happened, of course, we all Cap kind of started up his channel back up. We kind of did the whole dragon thing for months and everything, and did our thing and whatnot. And I decided I wanted to do my own research, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't find anything except for the meth thing. You know what I mean? And another thing that I did is I talked to him on the phone. And I asked him some questions. Like I said, well, have you tried to get your devices back? Like all you have to do is just drive down there, or maybe email them, call them, something. Ask for your devices back. He's like, yeah, I already tried to do that. I was like, and they didn't get back to you? He's like, no. And I was like, okay, well, if you want to prove your innocence, now at that time I was just, the second paperwork didn't drop, I was just doing my own little research. I said, I'd be going down there as much as I possibly can to, prove my innocence. And he was like, yeah. Like he was acting very defeated for once. You know what I mean? Like usually he was very charismatic and everything.
Yeah, and
But
that was kind of the issue where, I mean, I remember when I first heard it, and I sounded very freaked out about it. Um, and then he just kind of sent, I think because I originally sent a message saying, I have to ask, like, what's this about? And then the way he responded as if like I did something wrong, and he said, you
right,
already slandered my name, this and that. Then I was like, whoa, it's not like he has some honest explanation. Like, nah, bro, like some people just, or there's another Ed, or this and that. Like, I was expecting some kind of response like that. But as soon as like it started turning in that kind of direction, I was like, the unthinkable is true.
right.
That was
Well, the
like one of
thing,
those like almost all the way there, thinking like there's something bad here.
but not
Yet,
only that, it's like some of us that did, like, I guess people can use the word flip flop, that's fine, but some of us that kind of went back towards the end for just a little bit, like Damone, myself. There was a few others that kind of like, just wait till the court thing ends, innocent till proven guilty type thing. And that maybe lasted, I want to say maybe a month, two at the most, and then he started turning on me again. And that was more red flags for me. And so I started digging more, and other people were too. I'm not going to out names. I'm just saying people were like trying to find something. And then, of course, the reason why we couldn't, because I guess his brother's case wasn't closed at that time. And then finally, boom, panel channel, and Mitch finally got the paperwork, and there it was. So the red flags were there. Most of us saw it. A lot of people didn't want to believe. I mean, I think a lot of us didn't want to believe it because, I mean, unfortunately, it's true because that's actually harming children. I think when people say they didn't want him to be guilty, they're saying that because we don't want children hurt. Does that make sense? You know, but
um, wait, what about not children? Wait, what about children getting hurt? What?
no, I was hearing some people being criticized for saying that they wish that he was innocent. I think Nunya said it or
Yeah,
something, and
no shit. Yeah,
yeah, or you said it, or somebody said it. I don't want to say the wrong
I
person,
think
but I know.
Nunez.
Yeah, and I know exactly what you mean because we didn't want a child or more than one child getting hurt. Children getting hurt. So, but
Yeah, no, I mean that's kind of the thing is like I don't really take what they say to heart really anymore because they're intentionally uh I don't know what the word is um disingenuous.
mm,
Like they actually are bad actors, like from the core. So they're
yeah,
gonna be like, "Oh, so you said it's kind of like I feel like it's kind of like now it's getting to where it's like in a political race, they'll kind of get a clip of someone like completely out of context, like a snippet of it, and then they'll just like use it over and over
right.
against someone else, and then just vice versa. And it's just like that's not an honest conversation. That's
Yeah,
that's like
it's.
and the voter kind of just sees that going on. They're like, I don't really care what happens to the country. Both of them are full of shit. KNX. That's
Have you ever, just out of curiosity, Ryan? Either you or maybe somebody really close to you have ever done, like, say, an interview on the local news? Say you witnessed a car accident, and they come up and say, "Can you tell us what you saw?" Yeah, or anything like that at all? Have you ever done like a TV interview before for the news or something?
Oh no, not me.
They edit. Well, here what you said made me think of that. So there's been a couple times where something would happen and witnesses would tell their story, like we witnessed a car accident or something, and you'd look at we'd do the interview, and they would come on the news, and they would clip little pieces out and then put them together to make it sound different than what we actually said. And I was like, whoa, they really do that shit. Like, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what a lot of people are doing. They'll take clips of, some things that people say, did, whatever, and they'll put them together and maybe throw in some AI, and then that's kind of how it starts. And other people take that and spin that narrative and make another one, and you know what I mean? It's like a domino effect.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like the game plan. It's like, so I feel like now it's like, instead of holding me accountable to what I actually say, they have to change what I say or just straight up make it up.
Right.
And then, yeah, like the YouTube headquarters thing is so stupid. Saying like as if but like say no, what you actually meant to say was you alone are gonna march into YouTube headquarters and just force all the executives to comply with YouTube's terms of service or to change
Right.
YouTube service day one.
But you just can't do that. It's you can only do so much.
Yeah. And I was gonna say I did try to catch, but I was so lost and I was so out of my element, and there were just like a bunch of tweakers and everything. It just like I didn't really get anyone. Yeah, it was just very off.
Yeah, I've driven by it one time, the YouTube headquarters when I was going to San Jose, California, and
Yeah.
just for the heck of it, I wanted to see what it looked like. Even back then, I was like, I didn't even really know a whole bunch about YouTube or anything, but I was just curious, like sites to see. I just wanted to say I seen it, and I saw it, but I think they've expanded quite a bit since 2008 when I saw it. But I think it's San Bruno, California, I believe, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah. But another thing I wanted to say too is all this the YouTube drama stuff, like you said earlier. It's the way it's going. I don't think a lot of people realize that that if somebody was to take their life or hurt themselves, or somebody was to get hurt by somebody, or because of what people are saying on the internet, they could be held accountable for that. And I don't think they realize that. Like, you know what I mean? And
Well, I mean, actually, though, I mean, I remember how you kind of talk about laws and stuff like that, and like you've kind of said a lot of other stuff, and not really.
well, don't take my word for it. Go to Long Crime. There's like different channels on YouTube, and they have like there's like compilations where they have like 3-4 hours worth of true stories of
I
like
mean, yeah, like the closest thing to that would be there was a case where there was this girl that had a boyfriend who was suicidal, and she said to get back into the car, which would be full of carbon monoxide gas. And
yeah.
she did get she didn't get like a crazy sentence or anything, but she did get legally held accountable, and they set a new legal precedent where, if you basically tell someone specifically to kill themselves as they're killing themselves, you know exactly what's going on, so you're virtually present. It's like it's very
Right.
it would
It's
take
more upfront. Yeah. Yeah.
a lot to prove that case. But if you're just like saying kill yourself on the internet, then they happen to do that, I don't think there could be anything done about that, like at all. Like, or
There was one story. I think it was like a Twitch streamer or something. I don't know much about Twitch, just to be honest with you. The only time I had Twitch is when Alex had some decoys and stuff going on there in between YouTube and Rumble. He had Twitch going for a bit. So I don't have Twitch anymore, but I guess there was a Twitch streamer, and something happened, and this person got big. I don't remember names or anything like that. I was just watching the story about it, but yeah, so some crazed troll like literally drove across the country or some shit, and I guess tried to take that person out, or did, or it was on. Like I said, just go to YouTube and type in. You can find all that stuff like I think it's like Law and Crime or something, or Investigation Discovery. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, people think people are going too far, and well, I know people are, and I think it just needs to stop. You know, we're all humans. You know, you can only
Yeah,
take so much. You know, and then
I mean, I'm just saying, like legally, like no, there's probably not
yeah,
anything
it's
like.
true, Walt. I just
Um,
sorry, I was just responding to Walt. Yeah, they wouldn't care. That's the thing. It's like they want to see. To them, it's entertainment. You know, they want to see something like that happen. I can't see
um,
because of the share
no,
referral
I'm just
button. Hold
gonna
on.
read a comment. Are you
Hold
aware
on.
that the doxing you do is criminal? Any Leo that is giving you the names of accounts that are saying things you don't like so you can dox them is criminal?
No, it's not.
And honestly though, I'll just keep it 100. I don't believe that. Well, one, a cop would give you information, even if or should give you information or did give you information to dox anyone. And like I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of halfway calling you out, but like, there's no. What do you mean? Like, well, there's a cop next to you, and all this, you know, like nah. Like I mean, you're just
I'm
like
I'm just
you're
by
just
myself right now. I don't know what you're talking about. There's nobody next to me right now. I'm just by myself.
well, like I mean, during the other streams, you were saying something about like a cop friend or something that was giving you information.
Oh yeah. I will neither confirm nor deny. That's my answer. I'll use my First Amendment right on that one.
Well, that would be the Fifth Amendment, but
Or Fifth Amendment. Sorry. Well, no, it's the First
yeah,
Amendment. Fifth Amendment's you got your Second Amendment, your gun right. You got your Fourth Amendment, search and seizure.
Fifth,
Fifth Amendment. Well, I'm
Fifth
too tired to
Amendment.
think of all of them at the moment, but
First Amendment is freedom of speech. Fifth Amendment means like I'm pleading the fifth. I'm not answering.
yeah,
So
you're right. You're right to remain silent. Yeah. Fourth, fourth is search and seizure. Yeah, I'm too tired to go through all of them right now, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
But
Oh, because the info wasn't
I'm
already
getting
out. But
tired. It's
oh
late.
yeah,
Your tire's
yeah.
ahead of me too. It's like what, 2 in the morning there or something like that.
It's 150 here.
Yeah. Uh, no, I just want to come up. I was thinking about that earlier when you were mentioning. I couldn't come up because my StreamYard kept saying that it's about not no disk space or something. I restarted my phone, restarted my computer, so I was trying to come up earlier when you were on that particular subject. But I just wanted to mention that because there was a lot of red flags. And another thing too, I want to say too, you notice when this was all going on, even after the second paperwork dropped, the main paperwork, he was still cocky. Like he acted like nothing was wrong. That's like a whole nother level of creepiness right there, just my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't. That's kind of my thing is I didn't really have much. I kind of just like was cringed at all the people that were like they're kind of just acting like so outraged and sad after berating all the people that are actually concerned and be like, oh my god, he was my friend. I was backing him up this whole time, and he actually did this. Like, I don't got the empathy for
It
that.
should be more like, what about the kids that were affected? That's what they should be crying for, because they're the victims.
Well, I think they were trying to kind of say that, but it's just like
I
it's
get
like
it, yeah.
not only were they on the complete total wrong side of it, um, they like actually made it a point to gatekeep and attack the people that they were actually concerned and said they were doing something wrong. Like, remember Sam Clinton said, like saying somehow he was gonna get me sued or something.
I don't know if I
Yeah,
remember that part. I'll be honest. I don't
I do.
know if I remember that.
It's in Panels Over Lives.
I'll have to
Chat.
go on this channel or.
No, there's actually a channel called Panels Over Lives. I think it's
Oh
actually
yeah, yeah,
Doc.
yeah. Yeah, I know that channel.
Yeah, it's there.
I'll have to
Um,
check it out.
so yeah, just I don't got the empathy for people that like all this time the fact like how all the red flags are being laid out, and now they're just like so shocked and like clutching their pearls at the situation. I just like nah, like
Right.
I don't have it.
I think it's a lot of them though. It's kind of like me with the whole I know I'm not trying to compare the situations. I'm just trying to give an idea here, so it'll be misquoted. But like when you like Brian, you met a lot of people from YouTube in real life. You had some collaborations and stuff like that. It would shock you if somebody you met in real life, and did a collaboration or two or whatever with, or and found out they were one. It would shock you, and but you would do the right thing, obviously, and walk away. I'm just saying, but it would shock you probably a little more than somebody that didn't know the person a little better, if that makes sense. That's the only way I can think of it. I
No, and
mean,
that's the thing. If anything, I was actually like I knew Ed from the beginning. I actually haven't met him. The only thing is I just haven't met him in person. But
right. I remember
like
back like in 2020 or something, or 2019 when he came into, yeah, him and
he
Bill
was
came
one of the
in.
most like he helped gather info on a catch and this and that. Um, and yeah, like he was actually like a trusted person. Like so, like if anything, and so yeah, even that argument, like they're them saying like I guess they were his e friend too, whatever. No, like the difference is I did the right thing, and other people did the right thing, and they did the wrong thing, and they should it's just like they should feel bad. They should feel
Yeah.
bad about themselves. That's what it is. There's no other way to say it. Like
Yeah, it was
um
kind of weird because remember, of course, I remember when all this went down, I saw the community page on the panel channel first, like literally like 15 minutes or so, maybe prior. And I was like, wait a minute, well, who's going to go live about this? Like, and then I don't know if there was a hint in the community post or something just clicked in my brain. I went to Oaks Wars, and sure enough, he had a live setup. Like, huh, all right. And I was like trying to take a break from YouTube for a while again. Um, and boom, there it was. And Cat Eyes went up there right away, and it bothered her a lot, and it bothered me too because she was, she supported him a lot, but at least when she saw the truth, she was like, oh shit, and it really did bother her, and it bothered me too to see her bothered. But there was this one guy that used to go by NWO. Remember him? I think he changed his name to AWO or something. He was still going to his chats for a while there.
oh yeah yeah
Then he disappeared, and I saw him. I don't know when it was. I think it's one of the catchers I don't usually go see that often. It's not because I don't like him. It's just I don't usually just go there. I forgot where it might have been, like a one of the Canadian catchers or somebody up north or something. But I did see him in one of those chats once, like a month or two or something ago, briefly. And I didn't chat. I just watched the catch. But yeah, that's the only place I've seen him.
usually seeing the catch. What?
No, in the chat, in the chat during the catch.
He was in chat during the catch.
Yeah, I forgot what catcher it was though. I don't know if it was Samuel or PCI or I don't remember. I just don't remember. There was probably 1,500, maybe 2,000 people in there. It was quite a bit of people. I just can't remember what catcher it was. But yeah, it was AW. It wasn't NWO. It was like AW4 or AWO or 4 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I just remember he was like some weird sounding dude on Ed's panel.
Yeah, and then like he would go up on panel once in a while. Then his audio was always screwed up. Then he get kicked or he would drop, then he'd go back up, then get kicked or get. I don't know. It was weird. But yeah, I haven't seen him around since, except for that one time in that chat. Um, after the first couple of times Ed did his little live, whatever he did. All right, you know what? EA or EH, whatever. Look, you have no idea what my family and I is going through with the authorities and the justice system. Trust me, we know what the hell we're doing. So you can say what you want and think what you want. We know what we're doing. You have no idea what we've been dealing with. So that's my answer to you. Yeah, EWA or AEW. Is that what it is, panel channel?
I think it's just EH. Are you seeing that?
Well, it used to be NWO back in the day, and then but I think the panel channel is right. It's AEW or something. But I don't know. He probably changed it or left or something. Who knows? But yeah, I'm gonna crash, man. Thanks for having me up, and
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, we'll talk to y'all later. I'm pretty busy the next. Got my thing next week, so I won't be around for a while. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but
yeah, that's like a whole thing. I hope the best.
I appreciate it. But anyways, y'all have a good night or good day, I guess, wherever you're at. All right.
Oh, we got Sam Clinton.
Oh, what's up, Sam? Have a good night, man. I'm heading to sleep. Is there something you wanted to ask me though before I leave, or?
Who, me?
Oh,
no, the guy next to you.
Sam.
Yeah, no, just
I was dropping down to go.
Stay healthy, Jeff.
All right, man. Take care. I didn't
Stay
know if you had
healthy.
a
Take care of yourself. No,
right.
I just was coming up with the cat.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
See ya. Stay safe.
Yeah. What's up?
Well, you said, like, what would you like me to say other than I was wrong, Ryan? I mean, have you ever been wrong in your life? I was wrong. And I was wrong to threaten you with some suing. I don't know if I said I was going to sue you, but it was wrong to say whatever I said specifically. And I was completely wrong to say that I thought that Ed was 100% innocent. That was stupid and wrong. I don't know if I should apologize. Yeah. I don't think I have anyone to apologize for.
I mean,
I don't think you're asking for an apology, but if you want an admission that I was wrong, there you have it. I mean, I think I've said it over and again. I was wrong, and it was foolish of me.
I agree.
And I don't know what else people can do so that everybody could move on. You were the most consistent over time. It is what it is. It's a fact, and people get mad when I say stuff to you about how sometimes you're consistent, but you stayed on the issue for over a year, even when many people came back over and started hanging out with Ed and being a part of his club after trolling him and pointing him out. You stayed consistent, even when it made you unpopular. So I really don't know what else I can do other than to tell you that I do understand that I was completely wrong. It was weird how I defended Ed for so long. Another guy who I didn't know that well. People act as though, yes, he was invited on a predator catch. That's not because I knew him that well. It was because he had never been on a catch. And for 3 years, the predator catching community allowed him to be a part of the community, including in the very sensitive evidence locker that was being circulated for a long time. So
yeah, I guess what it was kind of representative of is, when there's like a predator in any institution, like Harvey Weinstein in Hollywood, Larry Nassar in the gymnastics division, this and that. It's like there's going to be a certain group of people that are going to like be raising issues or whatever, and there's going to be like another group of people that are going to be kind of the defenders and the gatekeepers. And I mean, unfortunately, yeah, like you and all the others, you were on that side.
But okay, at that time, we were on the wrong side. You were proven to be correct. You and just a few others. And it's not my, again, like I've said to you all the time, you and the people that were right, you lose so much when you try to character assassinate everybody. Okay? None of us were involved in what Edward was accused of, was in possession of. We weren't a part of that. You all have sort of impugned all of our characters over time. And I don't know why you can't understand, you and the panel channel, Karen, can't understand that constantly trying to drag us into, yes, we were wrong. I don't think any of us are somehow covering for Ed now. For almost a year now, nobody is covering for Ed.
Because that's kind of straw man. No one's saying you did what Ed did. The issue is you actually went after the people that were, and I mean you admitted it. You went after the people that were raising legitimate concern.
Well, the people raising legitimate, you and a few others, over time, yeah. But a lot of people were silent on the issue, which maybe was the smartest thing, or had reversed course and criticized Ed at the beginning and then transitioned over to be hanging out there over time. So you did it.
Sorry, but like, spare me. There's no impugning. No one's impugning anyone. Like, that's just stating facts. That's just what happened. So
right, I defended someone, right, when there was no evidence other than that their house had been raided for child porn, CSAM. So when you say also, when you compare it to the people defending Weinstein, defending Catholic priests, defending, teachers and coaches that are
absolutely,
those people have been credibly, potentially, those people have accusers. In this case, there was no accuser. Those people have evidence, potentially witness testimonies. In our case, this case, there was simply no evidence, but for the fact that there was someone had their house raided. Could have been his brother.
That's a big
Could have been somebody else. Okay, but again, if you're saying like, hey, you should have not defended someone even if he wasn't guilty in the end, just for the fact that his home was raided should have been enough to do what? Say he was guilty or question him and take a step back from defending him?
I mean, yeah. I mean, either way, it was gatekeeping in the exact same way that all those other sexual predators in those institutions were. It was gatekeeping to that extent. Like all the people that are like going after them, like how could you go after them? How could this person is a good and honest person? Like you were on that side, and like it doesn't need like an actual accuser. It's like he like all the kids are abusing the kiddie porn. Like that's abuse. Like it's not like, but he's a suspect in that,
right? But again, there's an accuser that's coming forward that said this person abused me, this priest abused me, and in the face of that accusation, someone says, I don't believe them. I'm going to stick with the priest. I'm going to stick with the coach. I'm going to stick with the whatever. In this case, there was no one pointing the finger other than there was a raid, right? And the government didn't even point its fingers. The government didn't point its fingers. The government just said, we performed a raid. And for 3 years, the government said, we performed a raid. That's it. The government didn't say that, and that these listed suspects were suspects. That's all.
Yeah, the government didn't do shit. Like the government wasn't
right. So I don't know. I mean, really, the problem is, wouldn't you say the government is more at fault than anyone here? Like the government, it's the government that caused most of this ability for Ed to sort of slip out of, well, I wasn't charged, and I was listed as a suspect, and they found nothing. That was the government's fault. That wasn't my fault.
I mean, yeah, it's not your fault that he didn't get charged in the legal proceedings. But as far as people raising legitimate concern over the issue, you did try to shut them down, which obviously didn't work because you're making moronic arguments against them, like trying to make the most frivolous suit you could fathom, of like, trying to get me sued for being concerned about that. Like, yeah, I mean,
well, I mean, there were factually inaccurate things that were said, right? Even though you may not like it, even though we may not like it, to say that Ed was charged with CSAM is defamatory. No. Over time, people said that he was arrested for it. People said that he was charged. People said that he was convicted of it. I'm not saying you. I cannot particularly point a finger at you saying that, but Ed wasn't charged with CSAM. That's the government's fault, right? Not anyone else. But to say that he was charged when he wasn't is a false statement on its face.
It's not more of a legal principle than it is a moral principle at stake. It's symbolic.
Yeah.
Like, we could say technically he was a suspect, there wasn't an accuser, technically he was charged and some fault on the government, but it's the concept of, someone has like damning evidence against them, and not only are they, like, I guess, not showing concern or whatever it is, actually going after the people that are concerned. And yeah, like they like and honestly, yeah, like my thing is, when the finally did drop on Hoax Wars, and I think like Cat Eyes was crying or whatever, I didn't got a dime of empathy for people that were like just so shocked after all the red flags, after everything didn't make sense until the very end. They had to reverse themselves and be like, oh my god, he actually did do it, and they actually found it.
Well, and look, I think you were right. I guess you deserve to be known as someone who stood on principle and was right on this particular issue. Right? Over time, you didn't really budge. Every time you had an opportunity to, you asked Ed about it. You didn't hang out with his panel. So I'm not here to glaze you. I'm here to admit the facts, which is what you're asking for. I was wrong to have said some of the things that I said. Have I learned a lot? Is that what people want from me to say? Of course I've learned a lot. I've learned a ton, whether you all think it or not. And to be up there advocating for someone, a stranger essentially, over the internet, who I really didn't know that well, to be so aggressively advocating for him was wrong. Again, I don't think I have anything to apologize for, but I was wrong, and you were right.
I mean, but
so how much do we get to? Go ahead.
I mean, something I would be thinking if I was you would be like, I would kind of have that gut check and be like, oh shit, would I be one of the people that would just defend someone blindly just because they were my friend if they were accused of some heinous shit, and then it became like would I be one of those people that defended the Harvey Weinstein or the Larry Nassar or whatever just because I think they're a good guy, just because I think they're a friend? Like, that's like gut check.
I mean, we have situations in this community. It's not immune from one side or the other side. There are people that have been charged with, accused of, convicted of things on all sides, and the reactions of the people involved have been, as you say, more on the side of, if it's a friend of mine, if it's a community member that I like, if it's you make it seem as though the only issue has been the hypocrisy with people defending Ed, and there were so many red flags, and that people were so defensive of him. We were wrong. I was wrong. I'm admitting it. I haven't seen some of the other things that I've seen of people doing that situation with their own family members, friends of theirs, community members. It's been not the same. No one's saying they're wrong. People have doubled down. People have been doxxed. People have been harassed for pointing things out of, hey, this person was this person, not saying if this person's guilty, but they were charged with something. They were convicted of something. And it goes around the whole place. It wasn't just the Edvidians that were involved in circling the wagon. And I'm coming here and saying, as I've said for a while now, I was wrong and you were correct and were proven to be correct. That aside, how long do we stick with you were right and I was wrong? I mean, because I get you deserve a victory lap, I guess. So you had your victory lap.
Because the thing is, people do rewrite history and things like that. So like, I'm actually just gonna keep saying it, just because like there's a lot of people that are just gonna be like trying to flip it around. Like they were really against it. They're trying to like say like Nunya was actually trying to be buddied up with. They're already trying to like muddy the waters and rewrite history. So it's like, nah, I'm gonna make it clear like exactly what happened. Like, and you know, and I mean, as far as like the other issue, because like here's the issue. I think you were trying to make a parallel between like I think I'll just say it, like PHI situation, like that. I think it's a bad precedent if we're setting like if a family member does something, even if they do something, they get charged with something, they get convicted with something, and they're just completely not in the community, and you're gonna fault them for it, like the person that is in the community.
No, but if their reaction is one like you just gave an example of, right? You just gave an example about how the people serve, Harvey Weinstein, people were still defending him, the whole system, there was a structure in place that, activated to defend and deflect for people who were credibly accused of something. But I'm not saying the person accused is in the community or not. I'm saying the person doing you had a term for it that you used, that you were defending or deflecting for. The very thing that you accused the Edvidians of doing for Ed happened, right? It wasn't about whether the person being accused of this is in the community or not. It's the person who's in the community doing the circling the wagons in defense of.
But that other person is not in the community.
Okay, but so if there's someone in the community who is defending or trying to attack other people for pointing things out, or don't you think that's a problem? So if there's a person in the community defending an RSO out of the community, or someone accused of hurting a child out of the community, does it really matter if the person accused of that behavior is in or out? It really matters about whether the person who's doing the deflecting, defending, denying, attacking is in the community or not. It really doesn't have anything to do with whether the accused person is in the community or not, or a convicted person or not. I think that all of us would have a problem. There's been a number of people in this community. So I mean, so I didn't know a dude named Daniel Dowd at all. He wasn't, I don't know if he's in this community or not, but I was asked about him relentlessly for someone I didn't even know, and I didn't even know was in this community. I was asked to react to it, someone outside of the community.
Yeah, I didn't really know about him either. Yeah, but what I'm saying
is, then ask the panel channel Karen then about why I was asked about people who were outside the community. Essentially, that's what you're saying. You're saying that if the accused person or the predator or the accused predator is outside the community, therefore, people in the community shouldn't be judged by their reaction to what they're doing on behalf of the person outside the community that's accused. Essentially is what you're saying, right?
Not necessarily. So it's like, it's saying that if there is a person, let's say they got charged or whatever it is, and they're outside of the community, are we going to have the same proportionate reaction, to anyone getting charged and sentenced, and I guess like the legitimate concern about it was that was fine, but I think faulting that person for because it was framed in that way, that it was like faulting that person for almost like they did the crime, when pretty
Right.
much all it is
And
is, like,
I'm not here to cry for
happened
myself, but you haven't done it. But there's been well, I think you maybe have, but I mean, I'll leave it to you to say it now. I've been accused of basically doing things worse than Ed. Being in the crimes with Ed. I've been called a predator and a chomo in this place repeatedly. So, I mean, I'm not saying you did it. I'm not saying you sanctioned it. I'm saying that it's been done because of my, as you term it, gatekeeping for Ed, who's in the community. Again, I'm confused of who gets to be gatekeeped and when. Does the accused predator have to be outside the community? No, does the accused predator have to be inside the community in order for people to be judged if they gatekeep for that person or not? Or is it, what happens if the accused predator or convicted predator is outside the community and people inside the community gatekeep for the accused or convicted predator outside the community? Because that's where you're losing me completely when you bring up whether someone's in the community or not. That's what's very confusing. Like that's your qualification that this person's in the community, but the person convicted was outside the community. So the person in the community could possibly gatekeep for the person outside the community. That's okay. No problem with that. But in the situation with Ed, everybody that defended Ed at some point or gatekeep for him should be
because
under the gun.
I mean, because that catcher's son, I mean, no one would know about that case, and
it's public records. I mean, what do you mean no one would know? It's public records. I could draw a name out of a hat right now of people in my district that have been accused of
the exact
stuff.
I mean, the exact like situation of it, I mean, you could see like kind of the dockets probably, but like knowing like the ins and outs of it completely.
Right. So again, are you suggesting?
I would say, like, I'll just say this, like, my stance is like, if people were raising that issue with anyone else, I wouldn't necessarily knock anyone for raising legitimate concern. I just didn't know enough about it to go either way with it, because I just simply was like, I just don't know.
Right? And now, do you know enough about it now to kind of go one way or the other?
Yeah, and I would say, yeah, if anybody did, he should get the full extent of the law and this and that.
Well, I believe he pled guilty and is going to be sentenced. So,
yeah, I mean, and I'm just saying, I would see that exactly as anyone else that's pleads guilty and gets sentenced. I don't see it relevant that like Tomboy made some like retarded argument about like conflict of interest, like how there would be somehow a conflict of interest between her catching other predators that have nothing to do with the situation, and yeah, like it's.
Well, he said a number of he is a very strange guy, and he says a number of strange things. So I'm not surprised that he said some things that are off the wall, including that when his docs was put on PHI's channel, no one said specifically, and he wants to make this nebulous claim that people that aren't in this community watching her channel were able to identify which person she was saying. I don't even think she ever even specified who she was particularly putting on the screen. It was wrong for her to do it. It was ridiculous for her to do it. Everything else. But for him to make these over-the-top claims as he has, that she said, and this guy's a predator right there. That's his name. She didn't say that. I don't even think she put up on screen who it was. Many people that watched that just recognized his voice. So you would have had to been in this community. And again, he's making some very over-the-top claims that because it was her predator catching channel, she can't put anybody else's. She doxed him. Not good. Terrible thing. A nasty thing to do. Okay. And even you would agree with that. However, for him to go over the top and claim that she never said that guy's a predator, call his work. No one ever said that. I don't even know if she even like pointed out, even said like what his name was. And so again, people can come up and make all sorts of claims about what's happened to them and then provide no receipts for it. And then I'm not saying that it's very likely his work got called, he got harassed for sure, but it was probably from people in this community, not random passerbys, like he's claimed, that saw a video of some dude at a conference with 5 other people on stage with no other context or backstory, not picking out particularly who we were talking about, picked up the phone and rang it off the hook. I just don't think a random passerby watching her channel for predator catches, she was giving like a chit chat, which are clearly delineated between I'm catching a predator, this is a live catch, versus I'm just bullshitting. She put up a video of some conference and boom, somehow he's able to say, and see, it was on her catching channel and she accused me of being a predator. No.
Something I don't get is
that is over the top and not been proven out. That's just him for more than a year now, caring about his own docs because you know he's better than us. He didn't really give a fuck about it with me when he was putting out video after video after video of me after I had already been doxxed, and then I doxed myself. Okay, I had already been doxxed.
Yeah.
For days and weeks prior, people continue to falsely claim that I doxed myself. No, I reiterated my dox after I had been relentlessly doxed in chat for a week or two. So, you know, anyway, it is what it is. Now I can turn on my camera if I want to and say my name, Ryan, on your channel, as you do. So we're kind of in a rarefied place in this community now, I guess.
Yeah, I actually can't turn on my camera for some reason. It's broken.
Well,
my laptop cameras anymore.
I just wanted to be. You said something to Jeff, and it was like, you know, I was wrong. I was wrong, and you had been proven to be correct over time. And I guess as someone who's usually right, you deserve to be recognized for being right. You were absolutely right. You stood on principle, even though it made you unpopular, and you were right. And even given Cap a credit to a degree. You know, Cap sort of didn't play nice at all throughout that. And he proved, same with you and the panel channel Karen. Even though I hate to say with her too, she stayed on it. Mitch did absolutely jack shit. So I don't know why people say Mitch. She did all the work. Just like, you know, there's a panel. The woman does all the work, does all the back legs, and gives it to a dude to take all the credit for putting it out. Mitch did jack shit. So, but anyway. I wish he would have given it and done it herself or put it out there. But, you know.
Someone's saying something about chat. What are y'all talking about? I don't know if there was like some kind of situation going on in chat.
I don't really worry about what Nunya says at all. Good to see Bill Evans in here. Nunya's, I have no desire to engage with her or anything she says. But anyway, I just wanted to come up and say that. And I wanted to wish Jeff well. He's had a couple rough days. So.
Yeah, definitely. I would say. I guess something about a question. I guess Nunez.
I don't report to her. I don't answer her questions. Likewise, she doesn't report to me, nor does she ever answer any of mine. So she can go dig and do her homework, as she probably already has tried to. But anyway, Ryan, I just want to come up and say that. Have a good night, man. Thanks for letting me up.
Why didn't you want to show up? See, I tried to ask. I tried, bro. But yeah. I was actually trying to see. The mic muted without my permission. Yeah, I was actually trying to talk too. You know, two-way conversation. Um. So then it's bad for being bad, I guess. I don't know. We're doxing here and try to get some without a Jeff. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it like 100 with everyone about everything. So that's kind of where I'm at. You know, whether I'm just like stating facts from a year ago or you know saying what happened. Yeah, my friend, panel channel until I dropped the location he was down. I'm trying to think. Um, trying to think. We got into some of the other topics. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's definitely true. Like, if someone gets doxxed, like um, it's not gonna dox you, but they're not the ones that were doing the calling in someone's work and accusing them of being a predator. Uh, I think Ethan, there was a situation where, like, I kind of just pointed out, like, some of the things he said. It just doesn't sound like now that his identity's known, it wouldn't look good. Like it could catch up to him possibly, and ask about it, but he then like got wicked defensive and made it sound like I was gonna call in his work, which I would never do because well, mainly because I just don't care to. Like I don't have enough, nowhere near enough emotional investment to do anything like that. Like who cares? Like the effort it would take, just not. Why? Um. So you got into that. Yeah, I don't really replay too many streams or whatever. I don't do that too much. I guess something we could probably do is let me see if I can think of some. Yeah, unmuted again. Maybe some panels over lives. Let's go to that. See if anything came up. I gotta get this thing working. Hold on. I'm typing with one hand. I mean, yeah. Another thing, actually, I'm just seeing one of them was Sam reflects on his catch with CBP Tommy. I think it is stupid that they're going after him for working with Tommy and catching. I will say that. Southwest Jeff shows his gunshot scare and reveals that it's Mayor He's a huge locksmith fan. I don't know if it's about locksmiths in general. Yeah, and I mean, as far as like the I don't know, I think the latest thing I heard about what's going on with that Jersey Predator catcher, yeah, I don't think he's um like trying to get cloned or anything, uh or trying to go after a catcher like it's being framed as. I think it's just he's just saying what happened, you know. That's what it is. Like they'll try to kind of twist it, try to make it a narrative. How many channels and or limbs has Warbot lost this week? 6. No. I don't think there's really anything about now Warbot's just kind of like he's kind of just like on loop, kind of like it's like Warbot. It's kind of like a robot on loop, kind of doing the same thing, like just reach typing. Nothing really interesting about that. He's kind of getting stale too. Like a lot of the shit to me is kind of just like I feel like I just kind of already seen the shit play out. And like unless like some new person comes in the community with some wild shit, it's just kind of like I can already predict what these people will do in the next year. So it's not really um like with me it'll just be like so like it'll be something about a website or something like they'll find an unfinished website in some other state. Probably that'll be my next scandal. Be like, Ryan doesn't finish a website. I gotta put this mic down or something. And then I just picture like Warbot. He's just kind of like raging at the keys, like breaking the keys, and just like I don't know. That's kind of just what I picture. In a perfect world, all catchers and decoys should work together. Appreciate them all. I mean, my thing is, I think here's kind of what I think. I think if you don't work well with a certain catcher or decoy, it's in the best interest of the situation to actually not work with them. Like, because if it's kind of just like working together for unity's sake, that doesn't mean better. I think it's kind of just like work with who is the best that you work with. Like maybe if it's like a general broad issue or whatever, like trying to get some kind of law passed or some mandatory minimum sentencing guidelines, I could see that. But generally, people should just only work with who they work really well with. But yeah. See if there's something going on. I'm just checking my feed. Someone should do some crazy shit so we can talk about it. Yeah, I think that's all I got. I've been kind of going on for an hour and a half. I thought it was kind of running out of material about half hour in, but yeah, and I will say I have some catches lined up in terms of I'll just kind of say I have their information of course, they need to continue interacting with the decoy in order for it to be a catch. One of them has already committed a crime that if I do find them, that, that'll be a catch. It'll be on obscenity, at least, if I can't get a meet. And yeah, this is gonna just be a very critical time for. I think this will be a very critical time for MVCAP, like, trying to kind of achieve its mission, its original mission. And that original mission is to change laws and really try to, like, I guess, like, mainly it was to make the case that, catchers doing what they do is a legitimate form of investigative journalism that should be constitutionally protected. But that's not really the issue at stake in Massachusetts, because that hasn't really been raised. The more of the issue is just that even if they get charged, even if it's a real kid, whatever it is, they're just not getting nearly harsh enough of a sentence. And I think it's kind of a good thing to do is, like, now we get to intercept the justice system and see what happens if, they go through the process when it's not a real kid, and then we can make these laws tougher for when it is a real kid. And, we can get these people off the street. That's really what we got to do. So I will be saying I'm just going to be putting a lot of energy towards generally just trying to raise awareness of all kinds of online predators, predators I catch, and the legal issues surrounding. And I don't really have much more to say. So yeah, I think that actually might be it. Yeah, Mike just muted up. Mike's just gonna end the stream. We did about an hour and a half. Yeah, usually when I kind of say I'm ending it, something kind of cool happens or whatever that I kind of talk about for a tad bit longer. But I think everyone's kind of going to sleep. So, yeah. Yeah, crazy thing is, like, be like, what do you not work if, like, you're up at 3 a.m.? But so I will be up at, like, I'll be doing, I could do this shit at like 3 a.m., but I'll be up at like 8 a.m. Like, yeah. So it'd be like that. It's still 11:40 here. I'm off work Thursday too. He's like, what are you doing, like, staying up at 4 a.m. on a weekday? It's called you wake up at 8 a.m. anyway. You know? I'm gonna end the stream. Have a good night, all. And to all, good night.